Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Josie with Awakened Soul, and we're here for a reading about the person on your mind and your connection to each other. I'm so glad you joined me here today. I hope you're having an amazing day or night whenever this reading found you, whenever you have joined us. Today's reading is going to focus in on your person's point of view of you and of themselves and of the connection, and also a deep dive into their innermost thoughts and feelings about you at this time. We have gotten started here with our first spread where we are going to be talking about their point of view of you. So when this person looks at you, when they think about you, what is their perception? What do they see? What archetypes come to mind? What personality traits come to mind? Basically, if you were to put yourself in their shoes and take a look at you, what are they seeing? When we are done with this first spread, we are going to do the same thing, but towards themselves, okay? So we're going to clear the board. That's why I have the two decks laid out here. We're going to reshuffle, and we're going to see what they think of themselves and how they are represented in this connection. What is their viewpoint, essentially? When we're done with the first two spreads here, we're going to hop into the tarot, where I'm going to dive even deeper into their mind, into their heart. How do they really feel about you? What's been going on in their head lately? After which we'll pull some channeled messages, tiles and charms, a message just for you, and I'm also going to be doing an extended for today's reading. So if you find that this resonates with you and you want to know what is coming next in this connection, what you can expect in the future of this connection, you are welcome to join us over there. You can find a link in the description box, the pinned comment, and straight over on my Patreon. So we'd love to have you join us. Yeah, let's get going, you guys. I'm excited. You're excited. Let's get to it. So representing you from your person's point of view, one quick side note I want to mention for you, you don't have to find this to be completely accurate for this to still be your reading, because keep in mind, this is coming from your person's point of view. This isn't necessarily like concrete truth, and you don't need to take it as such. As long as you can see where your person is coming from, if you were to like look at yourself from their eyes based on their experiences, their personality, so on and so forth, then this is still your reading, okay? So now that we've gotten that out of the way, from their point of view, you are represented with the cosmic egg, the crown chakra, the peacock, the turtle, the prayer, the ocean, and the warrior. You may have water placements. I'm seeing 2 notes of water coming through here. We also have air, so you could have significant water or air placements in your chart. What I'm also getting from that is that your person finds you to be very intelligent. You're an intellectual type. You're very smart. You're very wise, maybe very well spoken, but also very deep when it comes to your emotions. You are deeply emotional. You are very emotional, and not in a bad way. I feel like sometimes people can take that as like an insult. Oh, you're so emotional. You're so emotional. No, they find you to be emotional, but in the best possible ways. Your emotions run deep. Your well runs really deep. And they tie that in with your intellect. So they feel like you're intelligent. You're also very emotionally intelligent and very emotionally aware. Maybe that's why you're such a deep feeler from their eyes, because you can maybe perceive things that the average person does not, or you see the level of depth that other people don't always see, which causes deeper emotions, or for your emotions in general to run deeper. It's very interesting because the first 2 cards we had come out were the cosmic egg and the prayer, and these 2 really do go hand in hand. The crown chakra is what connects us to God, well, not necessarily what connects us to God. We're already a part of God. We're already in union with God. Anyway, aside from that, the crown chakra is what connects us to our divinity, to our higher self, to the divine. So it's very interesting that we had the prayer come out right away as well. You may be very spiritual or religious. Prayer could be important to you. Some of you out there may have active psychic gifts that you're very open and expressive about. Whatever it is, this person feels like you have a close relationship to God and a very close relationship to the divine. Maybe you channel things very easily. You might have wisdom that goes beyond just the material plane. Maybe you have this deep inner spiritual knowing or wisdom that you've shared with this person. Again, you could be religious or spiritual, and are very proud to talk about that around this person because for whatever reason they feel like you're very close with the divine. You're very close to your own soul and spirit. And that seems to be something that they intertwine with who you are as a person from their perspective. So they could also be under the assumption, like if this person believes in fate or karma or divine connections, soul connections, they may associate that with you as well, as in they believe that you're a fated person for them. They believe that this connection was brought to them by God. Maybe you are a person they've prayed for, asked for to come into their life. There's some sort of deep, very deep link to something that goes beyond just day-to-day surface level stuff that this person sees within you. Your intelligence, your emotions, your connection. They just find a lot of intensity coming from you, but in a really good way. They also feel like you have a fighter spirit. You might be very proud of your morals or your values, and you're willing to stand up and fight for what you believe is right. I don't think that this person feels like you are a bully or you're picking fights for no good reason. They don't feel like you're trying to argue or fight with anyone in your life on like a consistent basis, but you are willing to stand up for causes you believe in, likely that relates to your morals or your values or your beliefs, stuff like that. You could also be a really good storyteller. Some of you out there may be writers or speakers or something like that. Or maybe you, again, with your communication, because they find you to be very intelligent, you're good with your words. Maybe you're just the type of person that can go on and on and on for hours talking about old tales or stories, or there's just something about like, you're really good at putting images in other people's heads. Like you're really good at explaining yourself. You're really good at telling stories. It's like you have this gift to you where you can like almost like take a person and put them imaginally in that situation that you're talking about. Like you're really good at painting a picture, basically. Maybe some of you out there are more introverted though, because they're also feeling like sometimes you get caught up in your shell, like you hide in your shell. Maybe alone time is really important to you. Maybe sometimes you kind of go into hermit mode where you don't want to be around people or you don't want to talk to people. You kind of want to just be in your shell, be by yourself. I think this person wishes you would open up a little bit more because you have so much light to shine with the world. But maybe you reach burnout really easily. That's quite common for introverts and also for people that are like energy sponges. If you're empathic, you know, sometimes if you haven't learned how to like block out other people's energies, or you don't like make a consistent ritual of doing so, it can be draining to be in big crowds or be around people for a long time because you're absorbing all their energy and you're not deflecting it away from you. So that could be part of it too. If you're not introverted, maybe you're just an energy sponge, and being around large groups of people for a long period of time might just feel really draining to you really quickly. If that's the case, this person has picked up on that, or maybe they're just a lot more extroverted than you. This person could also just be an extrovert. I feel like sometimes extroverts get confused by introverts because like extroverts fill their batteries with social interaction. That's how they recharge. They like to be talking to people, hanging out with people, in other people's energy. It's like what charges up their batteries, but introverts are like the opposite. It's like it can quickly get draining if you're in large groups of people. I think that sometimes confuses extroverts more than introverts. Don't come at me. It's just my own observation, being an introvert myself, and growing up with people saying, "What's wrong with you? You're such a cool person. Why don't you hang out more? Why don't you do this more?" And I'm like, you know, I love hanging out, but like I got a good like 2 hours in me before I start getting burnout and I need to go like lay down or listen to music or go be off on my own for a while. I don't know. Shout out to anybody, or give me a shout out in the comments if you know what I'm talking about here. Anyway, let's get to your person now. I'm going to pull another 3x3 spread. Let's see how they're viewing themselves at this time. Let's see how they view themselves at this time in this connection. Whoop, okay, hi. All right, That like, I wish I caught on camera. That like flipped up at me. That was weird. All right. Ooh, your person. Okay. They're on a journey right now. They're on a journey from their, at least from their point of view, they are. Yeah, for sure. I think your person may have had a mother wound or wounded divine feminine energy in the past, because what I'm getting from this combo already, before I've even pulled the other cards, is that they're on a journey of figuring out their feminine energy. Maybe this person had suppressed a lot of their divine feminine energy, or anything associated with feminine energy. They're like on a rediscovery process of this. They feel like they're finally getting to their heart. They're trying to get into their own head. They're trying to analyze themselves more and figure things out and really explore their own world of emotions, and what's going on inside. Okay, hold up a second. We had a couple cards fall. They were not flipped up though. So let's reshuffle. Let's keep going. This is the gazelle, by the way. I don't know if I even announced the cards to you. I think I just kept talking. We have the mother, the mountain, and the forest. And then we have the gazelle. Let's pull 2 more cards. Oop, okay. Yeah, your person's trying to open up their heart right now. They're really, really working on opening up their hearts and their emotions. This is the heart chakra, the golden egg here. Yeah, I'm not surprised. We have the nightingale. Okay, so keep in mind, this is your person's point of view. Again, likewise, you don't have to find it to be totally accurate. This is how they're perceiving themselves right now, okay? So this is kind of like their point of view. We have the nightingale. I take this almost as like a secondary throat chakra card, because it's all about communication, writing, speaking up, speaking your truth, singing, using your voice, whether it's written, audio, or just like metaphorically speaking up for yourself, right? So this person has been really anxious about their emotions and speaking about them. They might have been the classic stoic type that was taught or self-taught that speaking about your emotions or talking about your feelings is not good. You shouldn't do that. You should suppress them, keep them to yourself. This is a classic tale of a person who is now trying to actually understand their feelings, speak up about their feelings, communicate them, not only to other people, including you, but also to themselves. Like, I really feel like this person had issues with even being vocal about their own feelings to themselves. Like, they might have had bad coping mechanisms, you know, things that helped them to suppress their feelings, right? Staying distracted all the time, overworking, you know, other negative coping mechanisms we're not going to necessarily talk about on the channel. I feel like you'll know a little bit about this person, but I think that they were running away from their own heart, their own insides, and the way they view you is somebody who's very vocal. You're very deep, you're very emotional, you're very wise, you have a lot of emotional intelligence, and more than likely you're very open about that. Much more open than this person is, at least. And it's like they're deriving some of their inspiration from you. They look at you as somebody that they want to be more like. They feel like they're starting to understand that emotional vulnerability and expression is something that is actually a really big strength. To be vulnerable with a person, especially after you've had, you know, wounds or you know, a period of your life where it was difficult to do that, is such a milestone. Like, it is such a big strength. I've been there, done that before. I got very used to suppressing my emotions. There was a good like 10, 15 years of my life where I buried all of my emotions. And until I started my healing journey, I didn't even realize I was doing that. Like, there was such a long period of my life where I didn't even realize I was suppressing my own feelings until I started actually feeling the feelings and doing the healing work. And I was like, oh, wow, I am emotional. I have feelings. Okay, this is news to me. This is something I have to work on. It's almost like your person is kind of going through their own version of that, where they're like, I had suppressed my feelings for so long, I hadn't even been open with myself about that. Now I need to discover what these emotions really are and vocalize them. However, they're nervous, okay? They are nervous about this, and they are perceiving that about themselves too. They're aware of the fact that they're nervous to be vulnerable and open up their heart. This person's probably actually very sensitive, and maybe that's part of why they suppressed a lot of their feelings, because they have been so sensitive in their life, and maybe because of that sensitivity, they learned to shut down the feelings because it was easier than just actually sitting with them. I found that to be a really common thing in my life and in other people I've met before too, where it's like sometimes the most sensitive people try to present themselves as the most emotionally detached just because it feels safer or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, not diagnosing or going there. I'm just speaking from my own personal opinions and observations of things, right? But yeah, your person's on an emotional journey right now. They're aware of that. They might have a mother wound or something they're trying to heal. Maybe they never felt nurtured or cared for growing up as a child or something like that. And they're working on it. They're very much working on it. They feel like they're discovering their own heart and emotional world for the first time, and it feels brand new to them. It's kind of scary, but they're also kind of in for it. They're ready for it. So let's dive deeper into their thoughts and feelings about you. Okay. All right. Give me a moment here. Okay. That wanted to pop out. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm not surprised that came out at all. If there's like any card that summarizes what we were just talking about, I feel like it's the Queen of Cups. Yeah, they feel like you're very deep, you're very wise, you're super intuitive, you're very emotionally grounded, intelligent, and mature. Yeah, not shocked that came out at all. Not shocked one bit. Yeah. The Queen of Cups is also Cancer energy, so you could have Cancer placements, or maybe Cancer season is important to them or this connection. We have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, I'm not shocked that came out either. You have been like a huge wake-up call to this person. I think you made them realize that they were trapping themselves and it was all just an illusion. I have another deck. I think it's the Light Seers Tarot. It has my other favorite depiction of the Eight of Swords in it, and it's very, very similar to this card, where we have somebody that almost looks like they're looking in a mirror at themselves, bound by these prisons, so to speak, bound by these chains, but in all reality, they're not even there. It's just an illusion, and that's kind of what your person is feeling like they're becoming aware of now, that they were finding themselves in a situation that wasn't even real to begin with. Their lack of emotional understanding was just them doing that to themselves in a way. I don't know. All right, let's get more information out. You bring a lot of clarity to this person. You bring a lot of awareness to this person. We have the Ace of Swords. And I just heard you're the truth teller. You are the truth teller. Maybe you're very honest. I believe you are more than likely very honest. But it goes far beyond that. I think from your person's perspective, your existence, who you are, your character, your person, who you are as a person, is illuminating to them. Maybe you're very different than they are. And it's like you're kind of like lighting the way, whether that's intentional or not. We have the Five of Pentacles. Your person could struggle with abandonment wounds or always feeling left out, misunderstood, shut out from the world. You make them feel very seen and very heard and understood. I think you also are bringing like the warmth into their life. Oh my gosh, you guys. And as I was saying that, the sun like flipped right out onto my hand on top of the deck here. You bring the warmth back into their life after a very cold period of time for them. Maybe you met this person during a period of intense struggle or sadness or feeling left out or abandoned or hurt. You could have met them right after a breakup or some kind of grieving process they were going through. Whatever it is, it's like you bring the light back into this person's life. You bring the heat, you bring the warmth, you bring the love that they've really, really been wanting back into their life. You really bring that in for them. You make them feel hopeful again. You make them feel like they don't lack anything. They don't feel abandoned anymore when they're around you. They feel seen and understood. They feel like you know them maybe better than anybody else on earth does. Now, I know that's an extreme statement, okay? But you make this person feel like you really get them, like nobody else ever has, because you're so intuitive, you are so wise. They kind of view you as the high priestess. Not like you're some all-knowing being or anything to that extreme, but they feel like you just get them almost to the point where it's kind of eerie, because you almost like know them better than they know themselves sometimes. You can see right through their heart, and it's actually inspiring them to want to get to know their own emotions more, because you can see things that they can't even see within themselves. It's like they look at you like this girl with this lion here, where they feel like they've been this untamable person. They feel like they've been, you know, shut down, locked away, but you're here to like warm them up again and nurture them, and help them along their path of opening up their feelings again and really understanding themselves. So to say that this person has good feelings towards you is such an understatement. They really treasure you. I feel like that summarizes it really well. They treasure you. You are a treasure to this person. You are a light in their world, and I think that they really love and care for you. Okay, so let's get out a few channeled messages now, and then we'll do tiles and charms, and then I am going to do an extended for today's reading where we will talk about what's coming next and what's happening in the future of this connection. So, I'm not shocked that came out at all as the first card. Anyway, if you want to join for the extended, you can find a link down below. This person is like, I need to trust that I can talk about my freaking feelings. I have a hard time communicating about my feelings and trust. They probably have trust issues. They probably have a hard time trusting their own feelings, trusting that people aren't just going to leave them whenever they get upset or have feelings. I feel bad for your person. Like, I really do feel bad for them. That's a tough thing to go through, man. I've been there, done that in my own life, so I get it and I can sympathize with it. It's tough to feel like if you express your feelings, people aren't going to like it and they're just going to up and leave you. It's tough. But your person is learning that it's okay to feel, it's okay to heal, and they got to do that inner work, right? And if somebody, I love that this came out. We got to take that. We have who cares what they think. Your person is starting to learn that if people are willing to just get up and walk out of their lives without caring, that maybe they shouldn't be there in the first place. Like, if your person speaks up about a difficult feeling or says they're upset and somebody just gets up and walks out of their life, maybe they had no place being in it to begin with. Like, your person is coming to all of these like very deep levels of understanding, and they're working on it. Okay, they're really working on it at this time. I'm happy for your person. That takes a lot of strength. All right, let's get out some tiles and charms now. This is for bonus confirmation, bonus insight. You might see names, locations, words, symbols that are relevant to the situation come out. Don't force anything to fit if it doesn't, and this part gets a little bit noisy, so if that bothers you, you can turn the volume down for a moment. All right, what was this letter that came out? Y? Yeah, I'm seeing yeah. Okay. We have YEAT, PDL, and N. So somebody could be named Neil. The color teal could be important. I'm also seeing the word deal. Okay. You guys can, or dealt. Like they felt like they were dealt a crappy hand of cards or something like that. Take your time if you need more time to see what names, words, initials come out for you. Okay, I'm not going to force anything else. That's all that wanted to come out. We also have another A, and we have a cross, okay? So somebody could be religious in this connection, specifically Christian. Maybe you have differences in religious beliefs. That's also a possibility. I'm going to leave this here though. It does seem like religion or spirituality is really important to you, so I'm not surprised that that came out, at least from your person's perspective. It seems like that's important to you. I'm going to get you out your personal messages from universe now, and then get ready for the extended, you guys. Let's get you out a couple of personal messages. Excuse my nail. I need to get it repaired. Anyway, we have the hummingbird. Release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way. And then your affirmation of the day I'm holding up for you, so you can read it along with me or type it below to affirm it alongside me. My challenges help me grow. Always, don't be scared of them, even if you don't see it at the time. Their sole purpose is to make you stronger. Beautiful. I'm going to leave this reading here and get ready for the extended. Don't forget to like and subscribe if the reading has resonated with you. I'd love it if you would. It helps my channel, and we'd love to have you stick around. I hope you'll join us for the extended, but if you're leaving me here, I would love to see you for a future reading, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night. Bye for now.